Hi, hi. Hi, everyone. How are we? I'm sorry, I'm eating saltines and they are sticking to every part of my mouth. Hi, my Karu. Hi, Third Word. Thank you for the first. Hi, Ember. How's it going? I don't know why I'm valley girling it up, but... I'm glad it's going good. Sorry, I like this song. Look, people love Dirty Laundry. It's very true. People love it when you fail. My haters be watching. My haters be waiting for me to fail. And they don't have to wait long. 'Cause, I'm failing consistently. Like, daily. In everybody's pies. Everybody on the street. We love dirty laundry. All right, posting on Twitter real quick. They love dirty laundry. All right, there we go. There you go. Break it with me down, break it with me up, break it with me down, kick you when you're up, kick you when you're down. All right. Boy, people are posting whole Pokemon movies on Twitter today, and I'm a little confused, but I'm not gonna tell them to stop. So, fucking, I'm not the IRS. IRS? That's not the right group of people. What? TOS? Those are the rules. Is there like TOS people? Copyright? Copyright people? I have no idea. I've just discovered that if I just keep talking, shit's gonna happen. Nobody knows what, but something's gonna happen. Something's gonna come out of my mouth that's either gonna make sense or not make any sense. Hi, Hi, Peach. Hi, Gore. Were you and Bunny taking a nap? What up? Alright, there we go. I just fucking said hi to myself. Where my life is right now. Alright. Let's open Elden Ring. To see hang-ups today, we to strive for our liberty. I've got this little jar on my desk that was used for candy for Bunny's birthday party, but I kind of want to make a tiny amount of strawberry milk and just put it in there. Actually, it's perfect cum jar sized. But I don't have anything small enough to put in the jar, so it's unfortunate. Hi, Stitched! Things are going all right. How are you? You see the hang-ups we have today. Oh shit! Sorry, one second. My cord's tangled. What? What the hell? Hold on. You need something small for a jar? Maybe. Maybe. Hold on, my fucking... Oh no, I didn't. Okay. Fucking 6-foot long cords. Oh, I could put chat in the jar! That's a genius idea. Hold on. I need a piece of paper and a pen. 1 second. We're gonna play Elden Ring. Just give me 1 second. I have to put chat in a jar. Actually, do I still have the stickers?
What they don't really
Put
realize
myself
though,
in?
this next verse,
Put myself in.
this next verse though,
Okay.
these bars,
Hold on.
Watch
Are
this.
these mine? No. That's all the other.
Whoopie dee scoop. Scoop dee dee whoop. Whoop dee scoop dee poop. Whoop dee scoop dee whoop. Whoopie dee scoop doop poop. Poop dee dee whoop scoop.
I have to like fold it a little bit, but I can make it work. Okay.
Scoop dee dee whoop. Whoop dee dee scoop. Whoop dee dee scoop poop.
All right. All right, time to put myself in the jar. You, chat, y'all recommended me to do this, so. Right, there we go. Hold on, I need to take a picture. Hold on, my model's gonna freeze. Hold on, just give me 1 second. Oh God. Oh, this is so good. Of my true love's hair, her face so soft and wondrous face, the purest eyes, and the gentlest hands. Okay, I posted on Twitter. There you go. I love the ground whereon she stands. I love the ground whereon she stands. Black is the color. Okay, I put myself in the jar. Of my true love's hair. Fun fact, Gore has black hair. Every time I sing this song, I think of him. Ooh, fun fact, I used to sing this song in high school back when I was in love with him and he didn't know it. I love my love, and well she knows. I love the ground on where she goes, and still I hope that the time will come. Still I hope that the time will come when she and I will be as one. When she and I will be as one. Black is the color of my true love's hair. No, I'm gonna turn off the music. I just really like this song, so I wanted to listen to it first. Ooh. Black is the color of my true love's hair. Her face so soft and wondrous fair. The purest eyes and the gentlest hands. I love the ground whereon she stands. I love the ground whereon she stands. Black is the color of my true love. This guy's gonna take me forever, by the way. Anyways, sorry. Yeah, the music does kind of fit, but it's not. I'm not just gonna leave it on. All right. How were you not following me on Twitter? What happened? Yeah, the boss is right after him, huh? You know what? Actually, I've decided, since we're in in-game, I'm just gonna go ahead and use all my pocket souls. And we're just gonna see how much I can level up. Because I feel like that would just help me here. Because I've got a shit ton of pocket souls. So let's go ahead and use them all. And see how much I can level up. Face, so soft and wondrous face, the purest eyes, and the gentlest hands. Also, sorry if I'm low energy today. I'm having a horrible mental health day, but we're rolling with it. We're rolling with it because the content train never stops. All right, there we go. I love the ground whereon she stands. I love the ground whereon. Black is the color. Do I want to talk about it? Not really. It's not right of me to put my negative mental health onto everybody else all the time. So, I'm good. I'll get over it. I'll live. But thank you for asking. What kind of content creator would I be if I constantly made my issues everybody else's issues? Oh, thank you for the pets. Alright, and then we got 9 of these. Maybe that should be enough. I don't think it'll be enough. I bump my strength. Your girl needs to hit harder. I mean, yeah, but I don't want to build a brand around it. It skeeves me out. I don't like it. Oh, I guess I also have all of these. Since I did kill all of those people. Melania's I might want, so I'm gonna hold on to hers. I don't really care for anybody else's though, so. Melania. Finding out Melania's voice actress was a black woman changed my life. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna up my strength to 40, so just so it matches everything else. Yeah, we'll go ahead and eat that. And we're gonna go ahead and eat that one. And then let's eat one more. Let's eat Mog. Pedophiles cannot live. Just eat all of them? I guess I could, but I don't want to eat Melania. Or Radahn's, because I like Radahn's armor. But I will eat the rest of them. So. And then we're just gonna... Okay. Hi, Blood. How you doing? Should I call you Blood or Raz? I never know. And then we're just gonna lock in. Oh, fuck me. Oh, the fire. Oh, the fire. Ow. Really? Oh, I gotta move. Fuck! Is Blood Raz like a bloody raspberry? Oh, I love that. Almost had him. Fucking asshole. Okay. I'm kind of just using all my items. Just cause like, it's really the only time. I can't run past him, it seals me off. And I can't use a mimic either. Which is so much fun. Gore, I'm not cheating. Oh, fuck me. Oh, fuck. The fucking fire. Also, I'm most definitely not summoning a friend for a mini-boss. That would make me feel horrible. Are you kidding me? You know, I thought about playing Stardew Valley today. A little part of me is wondering why I didn't. Oh, what the fuck happened to my weapon? Yo! Oh my fucking god. Shit! No, it's too late. I'm making my mental health worse. That's the goal today. How bad can I make my mental health? Ugh. Jesus, okay. Okay, I've got an idea. I don't know how well this is gonna work. But we'll see. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, so if I stay close to him, he won't do fire, but he will do a million other things that hurt like hell. So... I'm gonna try something, and we're gonna see. I don't know what the fuck this thing does. This is mostly just out of curiosity, more than anything else. Oh, that did nothing. This guy is the bane of my fucking existence. Look, this says strong foe ahead, and then the other thing says run. But like, what am I supposed to fucking do? Jumping ahead. Why would I want to go down? Unless there's a way around this asshole. No, baby, I cannot run past him. There's a door. You see the yellow behind him? And it closes me off this way too, I think. But also where I need to be is like right behind him. Oh, it doesn't close me off. Can I touch that door behind him? Oh. Well. Dumbass. Oh god. I'm so stupid. Yeah, I guess there's only one way to find out. Well, hey, and good news, my souls are all the way back here, so I don't have to worry about getting super close to him to go there. Alright, well. I guess let's see. Do you not recall if you had to fight this guy or not? I assumed because it was yellow up here that it would require me to fight him. But because it's not yellow behind... I'm not 100% sure now. Oh my god. Ow. Oh. Oh, wait, wait, wait. Oh, wait! Wait! Please stop throwing things at me! Ow! Malekith! Son of a fucking bitch, dude. Oh my god. Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god! This man be going! Holy shit! Yeah, he has been waiting for me, and he did not want to wait any longer. Malekith, what the fuck? It is my husband, and I love him dearly, but Jesus! I was not expecting him to jump me like that. Even Melania gave you time. Malekith just said, all right, it's on site. Oh my fucking god, babe. He's so fast. He's so fast. He's hot though. Absolutely would. He's long and lanky. Yeah, he does fight wild. God damn. God, he's gorgeous. I'm about to get got. I already know it. I'm so scared for when this cutscene ends. Yep. Okay. We're crouching. We're gonna go back around. Where the fuck is he? Oh! 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 He makes it to where you can't heal all the way. Oh! And sets you on fire. Great. Love that. Thanks, Mally. Oh. Oh, shit. It's just me now. Run! Ah! Stop! Oh, God. Oh. Oh, I almost had him. Yeah, I think Blythe probably would have gotten as big as him, if you want me to be completely honest. That was a close, almost, I almost did that first try. That's impressive. That man, God, is he something special to me? Malekith is so cool. He is so special to me. I'm gonna set that so that my mimic will use it. God, yeah, no, Malekith, cool as fucking hell. I love him. I want his armor, so we're definitely this is probably what it felt like to fight a military attack helicopter with nothing but a water gun. Oh god, yeah, you're probably so right. Hey bud. You don't gotta be doing all that. Chill the fuck out. Okay. No, 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 no. No, 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 no! Didn't I not just tell you no? I'm going to get my souls, sir. Fucking asshole. Alright. Ow! God, he's so animalistic. You think he fucks like that? Sorry. I may switch to his armor. I like it a lot. Fists, stones, shade. True. All right. Oh! Oh, fuck me. Shit! I was trying to heal and I was pushing heal and it didn't. God damn it. I could have gotten him this round, but I was trying to heal and it was not healing. Doggy style only. Oh, thank God. He's the perfect man. Yes, I'm having my Mimic drop those healing stones. Hi, Nick. You're not late. You always say you're late, but like you're not. Love of my life, stop jumping me. I love you so much, but you keep throwing. Sir! Let me heal! Oh God, he's got her backed against a corner. Where is my weapon? Oh, and we're so fucked. This is the bad run. The bad run. Grab my souls. Run. I can't fucking see him! He knocked my Mimic off the edge! Yeah, apparently when I sing, he hates that shit. It's fucking, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm getting rid of the item. I'm not letting her fuck with it. I just want her on the battlefield. Alright. Oh no. He went in for a handshake by giving me a boulder to the face? Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so risk taking the hit through the fog. Because if you do not, and you step even a centimeter forward, Malekith will not give you the time to recover from that. Oh, fuck. Blood. Stay away from the ledge, you two. Where is my man finding all of these rocks to throw at people? Is the real question. He's just scraping them up off the ground? Alright. Oh, he's coming for me. Fun. Oh, my auto lock is ass because he's behind all these buildings. Holy shit. This man is a fucking beast, dude. And there goes my mimic. Holy shit. Oh! Hi! Oh god, I can't keep track of him. I've beat him 3 times so far. No idea how to fight him. I just keep running my face into the wall until it works. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing. I did want him. I still want him, but I want him like carnally. This is my man's. Yeah, he jumps around a shit ton. But look, all I gotta say is America is a very lucky woman. She had this guy as her protector, and then she just abandoned him in here? What is wrong with her? Girl did not understand what she had. Drink, 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 drink. Oh, see. If you knock her off the ledge, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Back up. I just told you to back up. Okay. Yeah, he really does want to eat me in the literal of senses. You know, maybe I shouldn't be skipping cutscenes. Whoop. Oh my god. Fuck. He's just in the air. Since when could a dog do that? Local dog fucker is facing the consequences. What do you mean? The usual dog fucker consequences are prison time. What is this? God, he just barrels in. Jesus. Ow! Ow. You fucker. You know what? Fuck the runes. Oh god, he is so hard to lock onto. He's like a gorilla. Yeah, Malekith is just grim. That is so true. I'm skipping the cutscene and then regretting it every time. Okay, I pushed the wrong button. Real question, how did did Ronnie steal shit from this man? Like, Ronnie stole from him. How? Maybe the cutscene raises his speed. It feels like it. I'm gonna try not skipping the cutscene this time, just out of blatant curiosity. Take your breather each cutscene. Yeah, I probably need to. I think I'm panicking when I skip the cutscene. Yeah, even Melania gave you, like, more time than this man does. Man, if I just hadn't have been a pussy, I could have gotten him. Ow. Stop. Stop. Stop throwing things. Don't. See. I got hit by the fucker from the back and it stopped my bell ringing. There's a non-zero chance that she just threw the rune and made him go fetch. Honestly, I'd believe it just because it'd be funny. Yeah, he is Old Yeller. This man's been alive for a lot longer than most dogs. Hi, Gemel. How are you? My answer is unwell. I'm getting jumped by a dog, man. Don't. Elden Ring will make you feel unwell? Yeah, that's very true. Oh. I could help my mimic. But that's a lot of work. All right, so Malekith comes after me first every time. I did beat Melania. Yeah, Millennia. I did. All right, we're not gonna skip the cutscene this time and see if we do better. You have to wonder how he fights like that without getting motion sickness? Yeah. God. America really just ruined her life. Like, she had a beautiful husband, a beautiful dog man protecting her, beautiful children the second time around. He's thin, though. Is she not feeding you good, buddy? Come to me. I'll feed you better. I'll appreciate you. I'll feed you. Everything will be better with me. Anyways, I'm gonna get jumped immediately. And I do not have enough health for it. Yep, see? I need to study how this man moves. So he does that, jumps out, and then usually that spirals into a whole thing. Oh, fuck me. Oh, don't want to be close to that. Holy fuck. Shit. He's got good ass. Sorry. Fuck. I can't do this. I'm too horny. I can't even be mad. Yeah, he's got way too much drip. Is there a tactic that makes him a little, like, less... Look, I'm at peak ovulation, guys. This probably wasn't the best game for me to play. Maybe I should have played Stardew Valley. Sorry, guys. Can't play Elden Ring. I'm at peak... I am at peak ovulation. Did you fight the other super hard boss yet? This one? That's currently bum-fucking me? Oh, God. Ow. Really wish my Mimic would get away from that corner. Yeah, come here, bud. Or are you talking about, Millennia? Because I have fought Millennia, and I won. Oh my god. I'm missing. Sir, stop throwing rocks at me! All right. So far, I think I'm having a bit of a rougher time with him. Although Millennia did take me 21 tries. 20 or 21. There's an item that lets you cancel out the max HP lowering effect that's made specifically for this fight. Oh.
Become my blade once more.
I've heard it's better to stay close to him, but I just die to that. Interesting. Yeah, I'm having a really hard time with Malekith. Oh, fuck. Don't do that. We'll see, and how do you stay close to this man? Hey, bud. Oh. Shit. I came so close to killing him the first time around, and I got cocky because I saw how low his health was. I saw how low his health was, and I got cocky. And that was my mistake. Does he like lightning? Okay, let's see. About as much as any dog. I guess that's fair. Malekith has no weakness. Of fucking course he doesn't. Alright, I'm poisoning this man. I know you just told me he has no weaknesses. But I'm gonna throw a bunch of poison bombs at him and we're just gonna see what happens. Yeah, where's the frisbee in this game? Thank you for the hydrate. Holy shit. I'm drinking a Dr. Pepper that I got like 6 hours ago. So it's just been sitting here in its little cup. Yeah, whatever, bro. Fuck you. Yeah, flat Dr. Pepper. So true. Alright, drink. Get ready. What the fuck? That made me sick? Some absolute bullshit is what this is. I should read these items, but I didn't, so. Sorry. This guy might make me go crazy. And not just in like a kind of way. Oh, we downed him. Fuck! That was genuine anger. That was genuine anger. That was genuine rage. That was, I don't think, that was a flash of anger. That was a literal, like, I'm gonna kill myself flash of anger. Stubbs with heads. But no, I have to keep hitting him head on. If I don't keep hitting him head on, like, I'm gonna lose my mind. Okay. This is just how I have to play, because if I go off and I grind, I'm just gonna get pissed that I'm dying to things easier than him. Fuck. Yeah, that already was not. The moment I get hit from that guy from behind, I just accept that that's a dead run. The moment that guy hits me in the goulash, I just accept that that's a downed run. I'm reading. Yeah, I think it's super fucked that the horse can bot me once I'm through the once I'm through the fucking fog. All right. Oh yeah, I could adjust my flask. You make a good point. I'll check that next. I totally forgot about adjusting the flask. And here he comes. Fucking hell. This man does not give you a single second. The 2 seconds it takes to ring that bell is all it takes for this man. Also, my hair's falling in front of my eyes. I'm getting like that heated. It's like the only, it does not, it just doesn't help. What do I have right now? Okay. Charge attacks. Ooh. That's actually not... Okay. We'll try negating damage, since I'm gonna take so much of it. And it's so weird. I never know how it's gonna work, because sometimes he'll just stand there, and other times he comes bum rushing the moment I step through that. I hate the fact that it's not consistent. It not being consistent is going to be my downfall. All right. And I got hit with fire. Okay, that's fine though. That kept me alive. Okay. Probably the fastest one we've done yet. Oh god. Oh fuck. Shit. Shit! Okay. We kicking ass and taking names? Not really. Is it ringing the bell that's making him want me dead? I ring the bell and he's like, oh, this son of a bitch. This fucking whore. How dare she ring that bell in my presence? Okay, that damage negation though, very nice. So I think actually what we're gonna do, so my shadow has it too. He is not clicker trained. Or is that not how this works? Oh, it only lasts for a little bit. Oh, I see. Ow. All right. I'm gonna let the cutscene play for a second so I can stretch my fingers. I think it protects you for one hit. Yeah, that's great for this. Yeah, it lets me set up. That's fine. God, I keep looking over and seeing myself in the jar. It's really funny.
Become my blade once more.
All right, I don't think I'm gonna do it this time, but we'll do our best. All right. Okay. All right. I solved the problem. I did lock in. I was like, fear. We had to jump that man before he started doing ridiculous shenanigans. The moment he started doing ridiculous shenanigans, I was done for. So I was like, I figured it out. I have to take him before he starts doing weird ass shenanigans. All right, we did it. We did it. We did it. That wasn't too bad. I think that was less tries than Millennia. I think. Probably wasn't. Or it may have been around the same amount of time, because I spent... Actually, I did spend a little less on this, so that's nice. Yeah, goodbye, husband. I love you. I just wish y'all would stop coming for me like that. Everyone can die again.
Lands between are shrouded by death's dark fate.
Well, if y'all want to die, now's the time. Stab yourselves.
The flames will also burn the impenetrable thorns.
You know. You win some, you lose some. Damn! That tree is lit the fuck up.
Farewell it is then.
It's time for a new era, man. We can't keep living like this. It's obviously not going well.
You'll be Elden Lord yet.
Yeah, well, that's the goal. Farewell, tree. You were beautiful. Nice to look at you. We burning this house down! Is the tree the house? I want to watch a movie tonight. Gore, can we watch a movie tonight, please? For my mental health. Anyone got marshmallows? Nah. God, the fucking muzzle in the ground. Up we get. Oh god, we're back on the beach. It's Radahn Part 2! Could you imagine how horrible Radahn Part 2 would be? They just never nerfed that one. Aw, wait. I really like this city. This city was really pretty. Damn. I will say, I've always wondered what it was like here. At the peak. You know? I always wondered what it was like here at the peak of, America's rule. Doesn't seem like it would be that bad. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy the armor. I'm going. Jesus, wait, where am I now? Just so I make sure I know. Underground roadside? Wait, where am I? Lendell, capital of Ash. Okay, bet. I just want to make sure I come back to the right place. Alright, you fought the Secretary of State. Now we have to... Cool. Oh, man. This is inside of the Erd Tree? Is that why it's on fire? Oh, man. Oh, and the fingers are still erect. Oh, God! The helm. Royal Knight armor. Wait, how many more runes do I need for his pants? God, everybody here is fucked. 1 second. What in the corn on the cob? Look, she's dead. She's dead, Richard. Also, how are you doing, Richard? I could have Melania's pretty head. I'll buy his helm too, even though I'm not really planning on wearing it. Oh, his armor's worse? That's crazy. That bitch owed me souls. True. How is this man's armor worse? Yeah, I guess that's true. Oh, I look sick as hell, though. Anyways, sorry about that whole thing with the fingers. Oh, hey, girly. What's up?
Take a look around.
Yeah.
The round table hold is burned.
Yeah, I kind of set it on fire. I'm sorry.
Bends to the ground.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I don't blame you. I'll
Why would I
continue
hurt you? That's exactly what I wanted, was to get inside of his pants. Oh, wow. Yeah.
persuading
There
him
are
to
just huge gaps.
his roots are so knotted in
Wait.
this place. He won't
Hold on.
last much longer if he stays
I love you.
His shackles are broken.
We can have this conversation later. I just had a realization.
High time he put the
Oh my
roots
God, this woman.
behind him.
Okay, that's fine. Y'all, this man's pants don't have anything protecting the dick area. He could fuck me in his armor. Oh. New kink unlocked. I've just unlocked a new fetish and I didn't even know it. Oh, that's so good for me mentally.
Who are you?
Oh,
I must be a blacksmith.
you don't remember who you are.
Let's get smithing.
I do have priorities, and the priorities are, you know, fucking a man while he's still wearing armor because I find armor hot. I find
Is the round table burning?
I find armor hot,
Ruins.
and the idea of being fucked by a giant wolf man without him having to take off his armor is good for me.
Have I forgotten something of Dark?
Hi, hi, Ducky. Am I your unhinged Oshi? Oh, I'm your Oshi. Aw. Oh, wait a minute. Aw. Third word. I am down foul. It's not even funny. Oh yeah, I know my priorities. Oh, bed lady's gone. Well, yeah. I'd leave too. The house is on fire. I do know my priorities. I've always known my priorities. My priorities are to fuck giant wolfmen. Yeah, I don't have that dog in me, but I'm trying to get that dog in me. Oh, everybody's gone. I have your MLP mark in my Elon shithole site. Do you really? I don't think I've noticed. I should have been paying better attention. Hold on. Gotta give these ladies my bell bearings. Peach's goals in life. Be a big VTuber. Fuck wolfmen. Correct. Correct on both accounts. I'm glad you know. Ooh. Though I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm at a point in my life where even if I don't ever become a big name VTuber, as long as I fucked a wolfman, I'm happy. You know? I can find satisfaction in that. Oh man, if only there was a wolfman to comfort me through my failing VTubing career. Blink, blink. If only there was a sexy wolfman who's willing to comfort me through my faltering and failing VTuber career. Blink, blink. If only. Oh boy. Get fucked by a giant wolfman. Have him wear armor. Become VTuber as big as her massive tits. If only there was a man that could motivate me. You've quite literally killed all of the wolfmen in this game. Yeah, I know. Not because I wanted to, mind you. The game forced me into it. I didn't have a choice. We love wolfman comfort. Oh, so true. If only there were more wolfmen that were willing to comfort me. Hello? I don't really know why I came up here. I just wanted to get an idea of like where I was looking. Man, that tree is fucked. If only there were more wolfmen. Yeah, I guess I didn't have to kill Blythe, but the idea of him being there and like suffering really hurt my heart, if you want me to be honest. And if I was in a place like that, I would expect chat to put me out of my misery. If I was betrayed by the only woman I've ever loved, and I was forced to go crazy, I would want chat to come and kill me. It's the fact that I'm doing all of this just so I can see Mikola in the DLC. Should I jump down there? I don't really want to go back in the sewers, so I'm gonna say the answer to that is no. Look, I know I said kill me if I'm going crazy, and I know I sound like I'm going crazy all of the time. However, that does not mean kill me yet. Yeah, you could probably go straight to the end. I'm just running around. I'm looking around the city I fucked. We need a safe word? Alright, what should our safe word be that I can still remember when I'm going insane so that you guys know when to put me down? Pumpernickel? I don't think I ever say pumpernickel. I genuinely can't think of a reason I would ever need to say pumpernickel ever in my life. That's the hard part about safe words, is you have to find a word that like you just wouldn't say on a normal basis. Yeah, pump her nickel, correct. Dog? I say dog too often. You guys are gonna be trying to put me down like every other day. Yeah, see, exactly. Mardal knows what he's talking about. As long as I know I'm crazy, I still sound sane. Also, is it fucked up that I'm coming to kill Marika in her dog man's suit of armor? Is that fucked up of me? Wolfsbane is what they call Tragedy's pussy? True. That actually is canon, I need you to know. Hey Peach, I'm going to a restaurant that only serves food that starts with a P. Remind me what kind of breads I might be able to order there. Oh, you know. Peanut bread. Peanut bread. Oh, it's you. I've heard rumors that you're a bit too easy. Panini? Yeah, exactly. Hi, Eva. We're good. Poet.
I knew you'd come to stand before the to say state of affairs. I commend your spirit, but alas, none shall take the field. Queen Margaret Kyle's continue to struggle. I know. A tarnished cannot become a lord. Not even you.
Yeah, my man's was just yapping.
Cannot kill.
God. He's still gonna yap. I'll unnecessarily drink a healing potion while we're at it. I cannot wait to die to this guy for 3 hours on my soul level 1 run. Oh, that sounds like hell. Oh, look at that. He gave me just enough to level up my health again. Actually, I think I'm pretty good on health. We'll bump dexterity again, so it's even. Yeah, it didn't even stop yapping to fight. It's like fighting a Redditor. Jesus. Oh, and he's fighting me in the same building where I got jumped by what's his name? Are you fucking kidding me? God, he's jumping me in the same building. The same exact building where the soul Ducky every fucking time. I swear on every god's name. What the fuck? Anyways, not this man jumping me where I got jumped by the ghost of the previous Elden Lord. Like he thinks he's big shit. Why did that work on me? It worked on me too, bro. No hit run after this? I would literally rather stick a cactus up my cat hole. Oh my god. You'd let this next boss hammer you? The next boss is Godfrey, isn't it? I just love having a button that makes Peach go Ducky in the most disappointed voice. What are you, Aaron Hansen and Dan Avedon? You ready to beat Elden Ring? Well, I mean, fuck it, why not? We'll see how many times this takes me. The answer is gonna be too many times. I genuinely don't think I'm gonna beat Elden Ring today, just so y'all are aware. How did you die? Oh. I see. I genuinely think I'll probably beat Elden Ring at our next stream. Yeah, I'm going back to Blide's armor. Try death. Well, you know. Because Blide's armor is just better. That's a sick-ass head. All right. Get to the cutscene already! Me at myself with Malekith. Give me the cutscene where he strips! Alexander isn't a boss? Oh. Whatever happened to Doge and Bingus? I got rid of them only because of the fact that they took up so much space on the screen and they were so noisy, and I've started uploading my videos to YouTube. So it just doesn't look great on YouTube content. Oh, thank you for the pet.
It's been a long while, Morgoth.
Oh, yeah, that's one of his sons, isn't it? Oops. I'm sorry, I murdered him here. This is how Tragedy and Grim get around, by the way. Grim just hovers. Grim just hovers over Tragedy in like a JoJo's stand form. Always. Kind of like this man and his lion.
Be assured, the Elden Ring rests close at hand.
I'm listening, I promise. I just like to yap. Yeah, this man's about to fucking pummel me. I already know it.
Alas,
Why is that lion gripping him like that? Oh my god, the thighs?
to be granted audience once more.
You never seen a man hugged by his cat? No. Did I fight who?
As Godfrey,
Who was Platty?
the first Elden Lord.
You're gonna jump me, aren't you? Don't. Oh, fuck. Alright. No, I would have fucked him too. America was right. America has good taste. Strip! 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 Strip!
That will be all. Thou didst me good service, Sirosh.
Sirosh is such a cool name. Alright, Tragedy would never do that to Grim. She loves him too much. No, it's true. None of America's husbands are ugly. They're all fine. Even her wolf is fine. Can't deny it. Gotta be honest about it. Yeah, Radagon. Mm-hmm. Radagon had the most beautiful of children with her.
I've given thee courtesy enough.
Strip, strip, strip. Miyazaki knows my type. Tragedy when she's trying to take a fat shit. Look at this bloody oiled up gilf. Ugh. Men covered in blood is my favorite, by the way. Actually, anybody covered in blood is my favorite. I have a blood kink. I shouldn't be sharing this much
Now I fight
on a public platform. Barrowman? Oh, love Barrowman. This Barrowman's about to jump me, however. Really wish he wouldn't. Dude! Let my mimic go! I should not let him grab me for funsies! Did you see what he just did to my mimic? Oh my god! Look, I'm using the mimic because I'm scared. The mimic is my go-to I'm frightened weapon. Also, if I didn't use the mimic, I would be stuck in this game for the rest of my life. Future gameplay makes me feel like a weak little child. No, I promise. Elden Ring, oh Elden Ring. It's time to fight a MILF. It's time to fight a sexy MILF who's also a man. It's kind of confusing. Oh, Elden Ring. Oh, Elden Ring. I've never seen anybody not get bodied by Godfrey. Okay, in my defense, I've also watched a lot of playthroughs with Godfrey in it. So I kind of already knew what his moveset looked like, which definitely helped. So I wasn't going into that fight blind. That helps a lot, I think. MILF, 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 MILF. God, I want her outfit. Titties out. Stabbed through the gut. Beautiful MILF. Yeah, Malekith is hard as hell. That's a woman? Yeah, and a man. She's both. Yeah, that's Marika. Who is also her own husband. Radagon, who you're about to meet. He's the redhead. She's the blonde. If I could become one with my husband, fucking y'all would never hear from me again. I want to crawl into that man's skin. So, I get it. Ooh, the music. Oh, that's so good. Okay, this guy's definitely bodying me first. Oh! Especially because I used the wrong move. Oh, fuck me. Oh my god! No! I'm dead. Oh my fucking god. That man hammered the hell out of me. In my defense, I also used the wrong thing first. So let's go do that again. I meant to do my mimic, and that didn't work. All right, we're gonna try that again. I have not watched any fights. I have not watched anybody fight this guy, so we're gonna do this again. Thank you for the pet, Ducky. Love you. Holy shit. He looked at the clock and saw it was hammer time. Oh, fuck. Oh, I can't do anything to save her? Okay. Yeah, his torso definitely does, look rough. That man, I just fucking let him go! He's already down! The thrill of one last kill. Hi, Dawn. Oh my god. It's not that this guy's hard, it's just that his hits are fucking tanky. He feels a little closer than he did last time. Ow. Oh my god, his ass is just out! The most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Alright, there we go. Problem solved. The stamina bar makes me so unbelievably proud. My stamina bar? Oh, thank you. He's an old man on steroids. So true. Alright, this fucking thing. I have never seen a video about this guy, so I have no idea how he works. I feel like this guy is gonna make me want to kill myself. Enjoy running? Oh no. Wow. He's gorgeous. Oh, the music. The music. I'm studying. Wow. I'm sorry, I'm just in awe. Genuinely. Bro's gorgeous. I'm like in genuine awe right now. Sorry, I'm doing my best to focus. Fuck! Okay. They did a big arena with a teleporter boss much better than Placido. True. Fuck that guy, actually. I actually hate that guy. Yeah, I beat Melania yesterday. Sorry, Dawn. Yeah, I beat Melania yesterday. It's on YouTube, though. I uploaded it on YouTube. It's on YouTube already. By the way, all my streams go up on YouTube the day after I stream them. As long as, like, nothing horrible happens. So... Oh, I have to fight this guy all over again. Bro. Chill the fuck out. Okay. Yeah, I did Mog and the Fire Giant. That just felt like bullying. It kind of was. But my Mimic still lost half health, so I still consider that a loss for me. Hi. Okay. Ow. Fucking hell. Oh shit. I didn't see that. Well, fuck. Alright. Yeah, it'll probably be better to kill Radagon on my own and then summon the Mimic. You're probably right. I don't know if I can kill Radagon on my own, though. Whatever. We'll try. I mean, fuck it. We won't know if I can do it unless I try, right? I don't think I can kill Radagon on my own, if you want me to be completely honest with you, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Oh shit. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, no, I cannot. Yeah, I struggle with slow attacks. I'm better at faster attacks. But no, I was doing fine with the Elden Beast, so I'm not really worried about losing my Mimic for the Elden Beast. Hell, I almost had her on my own, but I'm calling it a her. She's too pretty to be a man. Radagon is cool as hell. Oh my god. Stop it! Let him go! Let him go, you asshole! Okay. Sorry, the way he gets grabbed is so funny to me. All right. God, she's gorgeous. Sorry, I'm just like silent while I play. Oh, hi. There you are. Fuck, I was trying to heal. We refer to the Elden Beast as a threat. The pronouns are try me. Hi, Nico. I'm not Eldening the ring. I'm actually kind of failing. Let's see. What all do we have? Oh, I'll eat those. That's fine. Just casually eating the men that you slayed. Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna eat everybody because I like this build, so. It's gonna casually eat everyone. You're especially getting eaten. There's that. Then... Let's replace this with that, since they're all doing holy damage. Anyways, okay, there we go. We'll try this again. It always tastes like money. And blood. And sweaty old men. My favorite. Sorry I get so quiet. I like legitimately lock in. And so when I lock in, I get silent. Oh God. Oh Jesus. Oh, that's so close to the edge. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Jesus. I don't think I've seen that move. I think that was a new one. I don't think I've seen that one. Yeah, that grab is disrespectful as hell. What the fuck? God damn. I am taking less damage though, so I'm gonna fucking hell yeah. God damn, that grab is disrespectful as hell. What's really disrespectful is having you face Radagon and then immediately handing you off to the Elden Beast. And not asking if you're okay with that. Oh my fucking God. God, stop grabbing me! Jesus! My Mimic is a better man than I. God. It's alright. Hi, Voided Lobster. How you doing? You can parry Radagon? I'm not good at parrying. Grab him back! I'm not good at parrying. I wish I was. Hi, Dire Wolf Boy. How are you? Hello, everybody. Everyone's rolling in. God damn. It's a Friday night for you. It's not even Friday. It's Monday. It's Gore's Friday. God damn it. All right. I hate to break it to you, team. This might be one of those fights that's gonna take me a couple streams. Oh my god. He fucking blinds you. That bitch just stomped me? Fucking asshole. Can I use the wolves one time for the memes? Maybe. Ow! Ow! I'm glad everybody's doing good. We ow when we win. Only winners get ows. Alright, yeah, aggro. All right. Oh god damn it. I'm just wasting my shit. Ow. All right. I don't know what lurking means. It just means that you're still hanging out in stream, but you're like not doing a whole lot in stream. Like you're just sitting. You're not like chatting or anything. Oh my god, you're all the way over here? Jesus. All right. We did it! Woo woo! Some people like to announce it just so that I know. Like, oh, hey, chat, hey, streamer, I'm gonna be watching, but I'm not gonna be chatting. If you were expecting me to chat, you know, that kind of thing. Okay, so I've got options here. Summoning Ronnie. Using the Elden Ring. I'm gonna summon Ronnie because I know that that's the good end game. Like, I know that that's like, quote unquote, what a lot of people consider to be the canon end game. However, I need it to be known now. Chat, look at me. Look at me. I need it to be known now. I fucking hate this bitch. She is awful. She is mean. She is bitter. She betrays everyone who has ever loved her. She's awful. So I'm not doing this for her. I'm doing this because I know it would make Blythe happy, because he died and went crazy, because he wanted her to be the next one in charge. So I'm doing it for Blythe because I know it would make him happy, not because I like this woman. Anyways. Just make it be known. Blue mommy my ass. She's a bitch. None of this would have happened if she didn't go and kill her fucking half-brother anyways. She didn't get her half-brother assassinated. None of this shit would have happened. Hi, Ronnie.
The battle is over, I see.
Yeah, and you weren't there for any of it. Thanks for nothing, bitch. Weren't here as a summon or anything. How do you feel about your stepmom? She's kind of fucked. God, the hips! Would. Absolutely would. I am summoning her while wearing her brother's skin. I want her to remember what she did. This bitch needs to remember what she did. That's your stepmama. And also your dad. It's a bit of both.
I do solemnly swear
That I am up to no good.
to every living being and
Being.
every living soul.
I do like her accent, honestly. It's a good accent.
Now cometh the age of the stars. 1,000-year voyage under the wisdom of the moon.
Damn, where'd that moon come from?
Beginneth the chill night that encompasses all.
Man, I know her mom is proud. Her mom is the only family that she has left that's not dead. I know her mom is proud.
Into fear, doubt, and loneliness. As the path stretcheth into darkness.
Look at my little ears. How am I fighting by looking through the mouth of this wolf? That's the most impressive thing, is that I killed all these bosses looking through the mouth of a wolf. Hello? Hi.
Well then, shall we?
Fucking, I guess. Yeah, her mom is a bit crazy, but she probably will get better, and that's true. Especially now that her daughter is
Constant
God.
eternal.
So does that mean I'm gonna be married to this bitch for the rest of my days? Because I don't know if I was willing to sign up for that. Holy shit! I beat Elden Ring! Holy fuck! I did it! Oh, that was so much fun. It only took 16 streams. Maybe 17 streams. Hi, Radiz! Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Dog Pound. I hope you're having a great day. It took 16 streams, but I beat Elden Ring. I killed every single god in Empyrean. I am so proud of myself. I didn't know that was something I was ever going to be able to do. I ring the Elden. Now what are we going to do? I don't know. If you want to be completely honest, I don't know. I thought about playing Persona 3, the remake. But I want to do another long game like this where I just take little breaks in between from time to time. I do own Dark Souls. I own Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne on PS4, so I can hook that up and we could stream that. Gore really wants me to play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon though, because I've never played Pokemon Mystery Dungeon and I love Pokemon. So Gore really wants me to play that. I think I want to take a break from Souls-like games just for a little bit. So that I can rest and not die in my young age due to frustration damaging my heart. So maybe we'll do Pokemon Mystery Dungeon next. I totally beat that boss first try, absolutely. So yeah, let's do Pokemon Mystery Dungeon next. And then I'll get the new one for the Switch. So I can play that on the Switch. And then, I don't know, maybe Persona, maybe we'll jump into Dark Souls 3 after that. I really want to play Lies of P, so maybe I'll pick that up. Who knows? But either way, until I'm able to buy the new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon for my Switch, we'll probably just be playing some casual games, so Stardew Valley. There's a couple of games I have on my Steam that I've never played, so I might try some of those, maybe like just as one-off streams, just to try it out and see how I feel about it. Just until I'm able to get Pokemon Mystery Dungeon so we can start another long series. But I think what I want to do this time around is kind of like I did with Elden Ring, where I just, every stream is that long series, and then when I need to take breaks, I can play another game for like a stream or two and then jump back into it. I'll have to let you know if Lies of P is any good. I will. I've been really wanting to. I'm not just because I'm horny for Pinocchio, but just because it's a Souls-like game. But yeah, so I definitely want to pick that one up too. Jesus. That is so much text. Oh, there's mocap in this game. That makes sense. Damn. That's crazy. Fuck it up, Foley team, honestly. Foley teams don't ever get the shout-outs that they deserve. I love Foley artists. They're great. No one is immune to Twink Puppet main character. So true. Okay, well, I think I am gonna end stream a little early today. Today is Gore's Friday, so I'd like to watch a movie with my family tonight, I think. I thought that this was gonna take me the full normal 3 hours that I streamed for, but it didn't, so. And since it didn't, I think I'm going to watch a movie with my family and spend time with my loved ones. If you do not start over now, you can choose to begin Journey 2 later in the round. Okay. We can go by Mystery Dungeon? That's true. We can go by Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. It's only 7 p.m. We have time. We could go do that today. Okay, I'm starting the second round for the DLC. New Game Plus, New Game Plus. Hell yeah! Oh my fucking god. Hold on, real quick. Also, why is my child screaming? You might be better off not doing the... You might be better off not doing DLC and New Game Plus. It might be hard. Maybe. I heard New Game Plus 1 isn't really much harder than the base game, though. We'll see. We shall see. So proud of myself. I got all the map pieces. Look at that. Beautiful. Dark Souls 3 second DLC was rough in New Game Plus. We'll see. We'll see when it comes out. I don't think we'll know for sure until the game's out, so. Maybe they'll fix it, because I know that there's some parts of this game that are quite different from Dark Souls, which people weren't really expecting, so. Let's see. What should we listen to? Yeah, let's listen to this. While I find somebody to raid, because I want to raid. Let's see, who's streaming? Mystia's streaming! And she just started! We're raiding Mystia. Mystia is a good friend of mine. She just got a new model. Like, just debuted her new model, like, Sunday? I think? Saturday? She's fantastic. I love her dearly. A lot of y'all already know her. Y'all be good, y'all be kind. If you're not, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna bite. Higher. So behave. But I love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here while I beat Elden Ring. And I can't wait. I can't fucking wait to play more games with y'all. So I'll see y'all tomorrow. Nope, not tomorrow. I'll be off for the next 2 days. So I'll see y'all Wednesday. Thursday. I'll see y'all Thursday. I love y'all. Bye. Get the